Hello, everybody. Looks like I'm live. Um, where to start, really? Not really talking about much, to be fair. Just, it's been 3 years, and people already know that I'm hoping with everything that I've got that, Forrest is still with us. And, I don't say that flippantly, and I don't mean it to be insulting to the family or anyone. And it's hard to do a remembrance when I don't feel that, but trust me, if I did, then, you know, September the 7th, I would have done a show for Forrest. I sit and listen to some of the chats and some of the vids. Hi Redneck, how's it going? Hope all is good in your world. And I don't get some of the things that people are saying and some of the things that people are doing. Or that, the 10, 20, videos in one day. With that much to say, why don't you just say it in one video? Or why people feel the need to fall out with each other, unable to have a discussion without name calling. Or I don't see how people can say you're wrong. I don't get that. When all they are saying about themselves is that they found a chest, and anybody who makes a statement is told that they are wrong. It's crazy. It's crazy. How, when it's almost a given, that's good. I hope you have a great time, and I'm jealous. I say that with not holding back at all. Really, really, really jealous. Not only the fact that you're going to Yellowstone with the kids and that, but I would have never been able to do that. Even if I was a kid, I would have loved to have gone to Yellowstone or a place like that. So I'm jealous for my now and my my younger me. I hope you have a really great time, and I hope they remember it for the rest of their lives. So there is no need to fall out because nobody knows the answer. And I hear people say, well, it's only my opinion. Well, how can you have opinion? Your opinion is great when you believe you're correct, but it's not great when you specifically state that somebody is wrong. That's not great. Your opinion about your own solution is great. But how can you have an opinion that somebody else is wrong when you don't know that your solve is right? Doesn't matter how much you believe it. Not at all. Zilch. Nada. Nil. Nout. You don't know your solve is correct, so you cannot say that anybody else is incorrect. Ever. Ever. So that, makes me laugh in an angry sort of way that people say and make statements. Similar to Forrest left it up to the finder or the solver. Then if that's the case, if all you people who have this solve, this amazing solve that is absolutely 100% correct, then you should know what Forrest meant by that. So why are you messing about with all the stuff that you're doing? It's crazy. You can't make a statement like that while you left it to the finder. And you're saying you are the finder and you are the solver. Well, then you know exactly what Forrest meant. So why are you doing all of the you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, and they're not explaining why they are incorrect? Just crazy stuff. So, remembering Forrest. I came to the chase late and never became aware that I was like everybody else. A greedy, money grabbing person who was blinded by gold And off I went, in search of that. And, you might think that's, evil and bad, or you may think that it's just human nature. But at the end of the chase, there is evil and bad. There is so much greed, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy for people to be blinded to, in my opinion, their detriment. You know, you can't say that it was about the chest, then say there's something more, then say that you found the chest, then say that Forrest said it was up to the finder, I'm out of it, and all of these statements that people make, because they all contradict each other. They contradict each other. And people just latch on to the last statement that was heard and, for the few days, take that to be correct and forget the statement they made 3 or 4 days ago, and the statement that was made before that, and the statement that was made before that. Hi, Zoza, how's it going? Gonna test out my earbuds. I better not shout then. I don't want to blast your eardrums. Good to see you, Zozo. So the chase again seems to be going, down that path of, you're stupid, a bit like Matilda. I'm old, you're young, I'm clever, you're stupid, blah blah blah, whatever it is that said. And I went onto a chat whose was it? Was it Kiwi? And it was talk about Forrest. And then it devolved into talk about drones. And that droned on and on and on. So, but that, was good stuff. That was a good chat whilst it was talking about the Forrest Fenn chase. And they were trying to, pick up on the things that Forrest said and ask the questions and those sort of things. And that's the only way you're going to get real answers. It's the only way you're going to get real answers. But there was no metal and resolve in that chat. They made a statement about what Forrest said, and then when they, weren't sure about it, they just moved on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, without actually, spending a lot of time working out, well, actually, what did he mean by that? And, that's where a lot of people fall down. And I respect Indy, don't get me wrong. But too often she says, oh, I'm too lazy, I can't bothered. And all the information she has is really, really, really good information, and would probably have more if you didn't, oh, my head hurts, oh, I can't bother, and those sort of things. So whilst people have the intelligence, and I absolutely believe Candy, Indy, OTAT does have that intelligence to have solved this and more, maybe the metal and resolve is also what was needed, and the imagination, those things that Forrest said. So whilst it was possible for certain types of people to understand what the chase was about, maybe it had to be everybody. Maybe you had to do all of those souls, everybody's souls, everybody's train of thought, to, I don't want to say walk in their shoes, to be a part of what Forrest was looking for. I don't know if Forrest thought this was going to be solved, thought it was never going to be solved, hoped it would, hoped it wouldn't. I don't know any of those things. But I do know that a lot went into it. And, forget the Rosetta Stone. Forrest must be proud of what he's done. People think that all he did was put a chest out in the Rocky Mountains and don't give him credit for anything else. He's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then argue about the fact that they, don't have said chest even though they were never going to get the chest. It was going to go back. And it's crazy that people just focus on, and Forrest must have known. He must have known. Because he said the kind of person that finds that chest can't keep it quiet. No, no. He must have known. Because not one of them, not one who found it has kept it quiet. Forrest couldn't know that. Because everybody says, well, I won't tell no one. I'm not going to tell anybody I'm the solver. I'm not going to tell anybody I found it. And yet they all tell everybody that they found it, and that Forrest is a fraud, and that even somebody who's not searching. Josh was not a searcher, but he found Forrest on the floor, blah 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 blah, and has a solve. It's like crazy stuff, and that all goes down to who's who in the zoo. Hi, that guy. I can say that again, okay? That again. I don't know which bit you're referring to, but probably about all what I just said. The chase wasn't about finding a chest in the Rocky Mountains, and said chest that people are talking about should be already, where it needs to be. You have to solve the poem to get title to the gold. And even if you found a chest, you would still be getting title to the gold, in my opinion. And, could be wrong. People say, oh, you haven't got a solve, you haven't got this, but we're told not to tell, all of us. Forrest wouldn't even tell his mother. And nobody finding a chest ends this chase. Nobody. Forrest couldn't end the chase. If he wanted to, he said he couldn't end it. Therefore, there was a chain of events that had to take place. Possibly, 11 things come together or 14 things come together, and there was nobody around when I hid it. And, as I have gone alone in there. There are things that had to come together. Nobody finding a chest ended the chase. Nobody finding a chest ended it. Could have gone in peace, but then something amazing should have happened after that. And the chase will end when something ends it. As Troy said, Forrest doesn't own the solve. Of course he does. It's his solve. He wrote the solve. He wrote the solve and gave it to us. Told us all the answers. The answers he already knew. And he owns whatever is title to the gold. Because he is going to give title to the gold. So Forrest owns all of this. And people get selective understandings, It's out of my hands was about what the solver did. He wasn't going to lay any rules against what the solver did or the finder did. That's when it's out of his hands, what they do with the said chest. Not the chase. The chase isn't the solvers. The solve isn't the solvers, finders, retrievers, whatever name you want to make up for it. Forrest did this. And it doesn't end when Forrest ends it, because he said he couldn't end it if he wanted to. But he has a plan that when it comes to fruition, it will end. It will be his ending. Nobody else's. Nobody else's. Not the solver, not the finder, not the retreat. Well, I don't know about the finder if the finder is Forrest, but none of them people. Nobody who found a chest is ending this chase, ever. ever. It will end when Forrest's plan, even though he doesn't like to make plans, antagonistic to freedom, when that all comes to fruition, this chase will end. And people will know what Forrest wants them to know. My understanding of the chase may be different than everybody else's. And people think that, I haven't got a solve, or we haven't got a solve. And I've already said I have everybody's solve. There are lots of solves in the poem. And I don't need to search the internet to find those solves, including Try the Wheel. It's 5 waters in the poem. The journey wasn't long, because if you're walking more than a mile, you're walking too far. So I travel through the poem, trying to understand the information that Forrest Fenn gave. And never knowing where I was going, ever. Never knew where I was going, ever. I started a journey following Forrest. It was only when I got where I was going that I realised, retraced my steps, what it is and where I've been. I talked to Greg about going through the secret garden. That's crazy, but it's in the poem. I'd never even heard of it. And, I understood that his dog's name was Tasuki and that. But seeing all those animals there and going from one to the other in the order that they are in the garden, it's crazy. Traveling through space with the planets in the order that they are in the sky, crazy. But it's in the poem. The sun and the moon. Actually, Venus is up in the sky, now for us. When I wake up in the morning, go work, there it is, and it's massive and bright. And Mercury is either joining it now or about to. So Mercury's the messenger. Untrue. I don't know what is untrue. Uh-oh. I don't know what is untrue. I've said an untruth. Uh-oh. Won't be the first time. Will not be the first time. But again, maybe, and I don't know how much you know, Zozo, so I don't know if you know my truth is untrue. But, me and Dave have the conversation that, like, now it's probably light where you are, but it's dark here. My truth is that it's dark. Your truth is that it's not. And we're both right. We don't need to argue about it. We're both right. So I may have said an untruth, but in my opinion, it could be. Yes, someone other than Forrest will. Yes, someone other than Forrest will end it. It will. It will end according to Forrest's plan, but Forrest couldn't end it. That's my truth, my opinion of it. It will. Forrest won't end it, but it will end according to his plan. That's how I feel it will be. Hello, pirate. How you doing? Ah, the spot. Yeah, that's important. The spot is really important. So thank you for this for that. It's good to see you. Wearing shades. It's dark here, but you'll be all right. I've got the light on, so you'll be able to see where you're going. It's out of my hands. Yes, it's out of my hands, he said. But I think he was talking about what the solve was going to do. And, like I say, it will end according to Forrest's plan. So he can't end it, which is out of his hands. The plan is set in motion, and something will end it. And that something will be according to his plan. But he will not, set the hammer down or whatever it is that needs to be done to make something end the chase, if that makes sense. I know what I mean, and you probably don't, but I know what I mean. Um, because me and Davey don't go around shouting and saying, we've got told and we know all the answers, and you lot, are crazy and stupid and blah blah blah. It doesn't mean that we have not got information. All it means is I have a soul, and all of you people have a soul, and we won't agree until the answers come out. So we can talk about souls, or we can not talk about souls. We can talk about information that Forrest gave us and try to work out, like Zozo just pointed out, my understanding of it may be different than Zozo's, and we can talk about those things. We don't have to fall out over them. It's just, we're all different, and we all need to get along. And the best way to get along is to admit that we're all different. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. We'll talk about two different things. So, yeah. So, the statement that I'm referring to is when Forrest was asked, what the solver has to do when they find the chest, and Forrest said, that's the statement I'm referring to when he said it was out of his hands. And that's what I thought it linked to. And that's my opinion of that interview. He wasn't going to make stipulations about what the solver should do. And he may have been talking about something else, but that's what I got from that. There is a lot of information in that interview, including, something significant was said that never been said before, and Forrest said thank you. If those people have a soul, listen to that interview, then they should be saying what the answers are. They should be saying what the answers are. And they shouldn't be questioning it Forrest at all. Ever. If they have the soul, they shouldn't be questioning Forrest, because he left it for the finder. So if they know the answer, as they say they do, and they have the soul, and Forrest left it for those people that found it, all 20, 30, 40 of them or whatever, they should know the answer, because Forrest left it for them. They should also know all of the hints that Forrest gave was to aid the finder and not the seeker. So they should know all of those things as well. And I don't get why people fall out, because they don't. They don't know those answers. They don't know them. But they will tell someone else that they're wrong and they're right, even though they don't have those answers that Forrest has given. Crazy. Absolutely. Hi and good evening, everyone. Hi, Money. How are you? I said I would go live, and I went live. And it's not. I'm not trying to say, well, I'm not trying to get on a high horse and say to people that, listen to me because I think I'm right and you're wrong. I'm saying, listen to Forrest and then work out if you're right or wrong. Davey Beard sent me a message. You're not watching, you cruel person. No, I could. I think I should answer and then say, "Why aren't you watching? Why are you writing to me?" You should be just waking up. To be fair. It's a long message. I'm not going to read that. I'm going to say, Davey, I am right. He might pop on, he might not. Ah, yeah, I like the drama-free shows. I have to admit, there is no need for falling out. unless it's part of the chaos or the cold or whatever that description is. Talking, well, no, I'll change that. Watching Fendi's videos just lately, I used to know exactly what he was talking about when he did videos. Now I have no clue, and I never knew what Streets videos were about, and I still don't. I don't know whether he's talking to everybody or just Barbara or just Josh. Until he mentions the name, I don't know. So I sometimes stop watching videos because I have no idea, no idea what they're saying, whether they're chase related or not. I watch Rick Novak's. I'm trying to work out who, if that's the right way of saying it, who he, she, they are, and if they have anything to do with Ashley. Just crazy, crazy thoughts going through my head. Okay, there was no need to make me hungry, was there? But yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Tacos. Oh. Are they really spicy? These spicy tacos. I think you put what you want on there, can't you? Tacos. So going through some of the videos, not watching them, just Forrest Fenn today, looking at them come up. Also, I saw Kiwis and went on there for about 10 seconds, and then he went. I find it hard to click on them because they're just saying the same stuff. It's crazy, crazy stuff. People falling out. And it's nice to now and again watch a video that talks about the poem, it talks about Solve, talks about Forrest, talks about the chase, or like Luli's, just something that is stress free. Something good to look at, something good to hear, something positive and without drama. So I don't want anyone to think that I don't like anybody in the chase. I have respect for everybody in the chase. Purely because I have no idea who is who and if the chaos is planned. I have been shocked at times. Frank will tell you, sometimes it seems like people go too far, and that sort of lessens my not respect, opinion. That'll do. My opinion of people, because not sure if we've gone too far. Because sometimes some of the stuff that's done is a little bit more than necessary, and if it is to give out information, it's too far. Oh, okay. Now I'm feeling more hungry. What's that? Boring. I can't use my. Okay. No, I didn't think you meant me, but I understand what you mean. Touchdown, Michigan. Have you got a bet on Zozo? I don't know who that was for. I love it. Boring. Yeah, that's a good thing, though. They have respect for you, pirate, and knowing that you hold that wrench is why they're not, acting up. So, you've only yourself to blame. No bets. Well, can't pay any. Nothing's as it seems. So, I'm trying to get to the point of, if it wasn't about the chest, then anybody who claims to be a solver needs to work out what it is they've solved if it's not about the chest. If it's about finding a chest and everybody is right and get something for being right because they found a chest, but not the answer to the poem, then that could be looked at in a similar way that Troy's talking about, Forrest getting all these people together and trying to, achieve something in that sense. But maybe Forrest had a way of rewarding people who found a chest, not necessarily the answer to the poem, but who found one of the chests that he was guiding them towards, because Forrest guided everybody. People saying, "Oh, they've got super secret hints," and this person got nudged. We all got nudged. All of us. Everybody got nudged. You went on the vlogs and there was information. You read scripts and not scripts, information. You heard interviews and you got nudged. You read scrapbooks and you got nudged. Everybody got nudged. Everyone. All of you. Don't care who you are. Absolutely don't care who you are. You all got nudged. You all got information. And that information came from Forrest. And you all got nudged. Including Dave Mann from the East, who nicked, lots of people's ideas to get his solve in New Mexico, even one that was in Wyoming. Everybody got nudged. Everyone. And then you moan about this fictitious Jack, who people talk about. He got nudged. But we all got nudged. All of us. Forrest gave us information that would help with the solve that we had to get to a point that we got to, that made us think we had the answer. And that's how I see it. Two chests, indeed. Slapped in there. That would explain why you have all them funny faces. Oh, you must have laughed your head off because it's upside down now. Why did you get slapped in the head? That guy. Now, that guy sounds like that guy, Dave, because he's that guy. But I just look at everything that Forrest said and then go, oh no, can't be that solve. I'm not talking about anybody else's solve. I'm talking about solves that I had. It can't be that solve. It can't be that solve. And I sent Forrest a lot of information about lots of different solves. I talked about one the other day, Cabin Creek. And I was talking about the two C's, to cease, two C's. Now, I believe that two C's are important in the ending of the chase. The two C's that work together. Now, I don't know whether Forrest would understand anything that I was saying, but I didn't know who Forrest was. And I was unsure, this was early in the chase because it didn't take long for me to come up with a lot of solves. With the people that were in the poem, and Forrest Fenn, early on when I was in it, was talking about him being a smoozer, the best smoozer, and me looking up the words, obviously, wondering what a smoozer was. And then seeing all the synonyms of that, I was like, uh-oh, can this person be trusted? This person, Major Forrest Burke Fenn, that is claiming to be the best schmoozer. And then talk of selling fakes, forgeries, but on the up and up, not trying to sell them as originals. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, what sort of person is this? And it took a while to try and work out. All the information is honest information. It's not trying to do dirty little tricks. It's just trying to be clever. So this person that is doing this is really clever. So now I have to go back and think, who is running the chase? How many people are running the chase? If all these people that Forrest put in the poem are part of this chase, and what are their roles in it? And I consider, these people have done like 300 boots on the ground, or 200 boots on the ground, or 600 boots on the ground. It's like nobody does that. Nobody does that many boots on the ground. Surely nobody does that many boots on the ground. You go so many times and think, no, I don't know how to do this. So are they just, to keep this thing going, or are they real searchers? So there was the don't know who to talk to, and I don't know how to give information without giving the game away, without giving answers that Forrest said he wouldn't even tell his mother. And the kind of person that finds that chest can't keep it quiet. It's like, hang on, what? Here is information that says it's going to be talked about, and here is information that I'm not even going to tell my mother. Here is information that, more than an asterisk, and here is information I hope they never find out. Here is information about I hid a chest in the Rocky Mountains, and here is information. Does anybody know about my secret treasure? I'm thinking, Forrest, what's going on? Whoever Major Forrest Fenn is. What is it you're really telling all of us? Your words don't make sense because you're saying this, then you're saying this, and those two never come together. So this is totally separate, way separate. So I have to look for more than one thing, and then I have to try and understand what that thing is. So my opinion is, obviously David B is of the same mind, that there's something more than a chest in the Rocky Mountains that is to do with the chase. Now I try to give information. This is where I came in really, because I was putting information on the blogs, and I did my first videos to say, this is real. Forrest did this, and it's real. There's no fraud. There's no fake. There's no stitching anybody up. This will end when something ends it, as part of Forrest Fenn's plan. That's it. End of. That's when it'll end. And everybody who's looking for answers, if you're looking for answers in the chaos, you're wasting time because it's supposed to be chaos. Forrest said, who will help me? Embroidery or chaos? So, whilst it helps with all the chaos, some people are thinking enough's enough, etc., etc., etc. But, I agree. I agree to some extent, but only because something has to end it. That's what you're waiting for. And those are Forrest's words. What will happen to the chase? This is just paraphrase. What will happen to the chase, Forrest, if you're not here? It will go on until something ends it. Well, Forrest is not here. And it will go on until something ends it. He didn't say somebody find the chest. He didn't say I'm stitching somebody up who did find a chest. He said it will go on until something ends it. So anybody who finds a chest, no, you don't end the chase, ever. Something ends it, ends the chase. And that something is, can I make it happen like it's supposed to? That's what ends the chase. Forrest makes it happen. In the sense that it's his plan. Because he couldn't end the chase if he wanted to. Now that must mean that there is an answer to the chase that can be found. It can be found. Forrest can't end it if he wanted to, and something ends it. So therefore, there is an answer that can be found either before. No, well, it has to be found before it ends because you'll be told it, when it does end. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Are you still married? There are not many true searches, but 100% people. Yes, it has to keep going until something. Hi, INFJ. Sorry, I missed you. It has to keep going until something ends it. I am the original black guy. Okay, that's how. Two C's. Thank you, Mummy. Two C's. Two C's or not two C's. Well, that was my Cabin Creek. I think that was in Montana. Two C's. Good to see you, INFJ. You're normally the first one here. I don't know what happened today. There or not. Read that one. Whatever it. Well, it can be many things, can't it? Maui. Maui's in the poem. It depends on what reference. That was almost my name. I'm only called Mario because my mum and dad came over to England and the nurse couldn't read the right. And they thought it said Mario, but it was supposed to be Maori. So I know that's slightly different, but I ended up being called Mario, which, I don't mind. I think if you ask Fendi, he'll tell you there's a lot in that poem. Hi, Idaho. Forrest. Yeah, that was before I came into the chase. And I was aware that Forrest had done that, and I was aware of the number. If you find this number, it will be a clue. I was aware of that as well. But like I say, it was hard to believe that a person doing a treasure hunt would be as accessible as Forrest was. And I can tell you now, whilst people moan about these people that went to see Forrest and that and trying to get super secret hints, if I was in America close enough, I would have absolutely gone to see Forrest. Absolutely, without hesitation. Probably asked him, Forrest, you really run this? Is it really you? Can I tell you about some stuff? Even to the point that I was talking to somebody and I sent Forrest an email, saying, can you trust this person? It was weird. It's like I was that, like, who's this? What? What are you saying? So I sent Forrest an email about the person. That's where I was when I was first in the chase. Have a good time. Oh, have a great time watching Oppenheimer. You know how it ends, though, don't you? Have a great time. Oh, you didn't answer if you're still married, Paul. Yes, he did say that. Whoa, what's the whoa for? It's difficult but not impossible, something like that. Yeah, but he also said when people find out the answer, they're going to think, why didn't I think of that? That's another one of those situations where I was trying to listen to what Forrest said and then think it don't make sense. So I had to try and put all of those into different compartments. So I get a piece of white paper and I'm in that paper, and then I have to put it into blocks, then halve it again, and then put the information so small like fine print so I could get it all there, and then have it all sort of like in the file system, just on this white paper. That you know, you've got to turn it over. I can find what it is I'm looking for, rather than flicking through lots of different ones. And Forrest was saying all these things, and none of them made sense. So I had one side was it's difficult but not impossible, and the other side was when people find out what it is, they're going to think, why didn't I think of that? So the other side of the coin, as it were, heads or tails, and Forrest actually did the coin toss with that gentleman who he was going to make lose. You dozed off, Tigger. You're the driver. What's going on? You're not driving again, are you? You worry me. You're always driving. Are you a long distance trucker? Are you one of those Coca-Cola drivers who comes around at Christmas with it all lit up? Hey, hey, good to see. Yes, it is. High five. You doing all right? Although I have to be fair to you, you probably aren't the only person that dozes off when I'm talking. So I wouldn't worry too much. And you won't miss anything, I don't think, anyway. Not from me. Somebody in chat might tell you something interesting. So, remembering Forrest, you know, I hope that everybody has good thoughts about Major Forrest Fenn, and believe that it wasn't just about chess, that there was something more, and he spent a lot of his life trying to achieve something that may, benefit a lot of people. And, people say, oh, he's done it for himself. He wants the glory, he wants the praise, he wants to take it with him. But even if you're doing something yourself and it helps other people, then it's still a good thing. It has to be. So behind everything, Forrest was either going to take it with him, or someone was going to be given title to the gold. And in a nutshell, that's what the chase is. Well, if I can't take it with me, I'm not going. In a poem that says, I give the title to the gold. And that to me doesn't talk of a chest full of jewels. If you looked at my Facebook page, you would think so, yeah. And that wasn't me. If anybody goes to my Facebook page, that wasn't me. My friend put my face on the Super Mario figure. I asked him to set up Facebook for me, and he did that. And I was like, oh, okay. And then just left it. Well, I think Forrest. So somebody said the other day that Forrest got his ass kicked, and I don't see that. I see, that Forrest told us all the answers. So how is that an ass kicking? I think by telling us the answers, if anything, he kicked ours by 300 odd thousand didn't get it, and a few someone did. So I was not trying to beat Forrest. I was trying to help Forrest because he said, in the book, can I make it happen? So not me finding a chest. It was never going to be me finding a chest if he says that. Can I make it happen? So therefore, Forrest has to make this happen. If I went out and found this chest, like I said, I went to Wyoming and I was standing there thinking, I spent all this money coming out here, and this is not it. This is not it. Forrest said, no one's going to stumble on that chest. It's that simple. Nobody is going to stumble on that chest. No matter where you put it, someone's going to stumble on it. Unless it's somewhere that you're not going to go, ever. No one's going to go there. No one. So it's somewhere where nobody's going to go. Now you can have all the souls that you want. Everybody. 300,000 people have souls in the Rocky Mountains. It's not going to be there. Not one of them, ever. Because nobody's going to stumble on it. And everything is stumble uponable. Forrest never falls, but he fell over that headstone. Everything is stumble uponable. Even now, people are finding stuff. Even stuff that is, the bottom of a river or a sea or whatever, come to light. People stumble on everything. Everything. So it's not going to be stumbled upon means it doesn't matter what your soul is. Wherever your soul is, you're going to stumble on it. And anybody, I don't care where your soul is, top of a mountain, somebody's going to stumble on it. Down in the valley somewhere, somebody's going to stumble on it. Someone's going to stumble on it. So there had to be something different. It took me a trip to, Wyoming to think, what am I doing here? And like I said before, it was purely because I thought that I knew where a treasure chest was. And even if I did, that was what this was about. So I came home and started again. Hey, lost 20 pounds. Yeah. Lost 20 pounds, didn't even know it. And he made sure he said that statement over and over the same way. But he did quantify it, clarify it. So they didn't have scales or something there. But, his belt would have told him that he'd lost it. No, I think they were definitely talking about him getting his ass kicked by the solver. There was some talk about the solver, but I don't think it's just my opinion. I don't think the solver was out to kick anybody's ass. I think if you're out to solve a poem, you're out to solve the poem. If you're out to find the chest, you're out to find the chest. Some people were out to beat Forrest at his own game, but that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Hi, MJ. How's it going? All good. Only someone hacked the Forrest email. Uh-oh. Not more hacking. I think if you had 30 emails, say Forrest had 300 emails on his computer, how is that going to help you? How is it going to help you? You won't know which one's correct. You won't know which one's correct. And if it's an email on a computer and the chest hasn't been found, it's not going to help you. So, whilst it may be information, I don't worry about those sort of things because I just think, well, and Forrest said it wasn't written down, it was in his head. I think that's an important statement. Had that pad in his pocket, which I think is important. The looking at other people's emails, unless you know what the solve is. So you saw an email from Dave, you saw an email from Bill, you saw an email from Cynthia, you saw an email from Justin, you saw an email from me, you saw an email from Barbara, you saw an email from Indy, you saw an email from KPro. How does that help? There may be, something, but I don't know if you had Forrest emails, how that would help. Well, I think something had to be 8.25 miles north of Santa Fe. Am I overseas? I am overseas from the US. I'm in England. That was something that was said the other day from David. Didn't get the whole show. I stopped watching it because there's no chat. I don't like it when there's no chat. But he was questioning the fact that there's a solver from England and a solver from Australia. It's like, well, there's a Dutchman from the east, there's someone from Norway, there's someone from Germany. Why are you singling out England and Australia? It's because people all over the world heard about the thrill of the chase. So no, there's no coincidence. There's nothing in it other than I want to find the chest, same as David did. I don't think there's anything in that. Well, I know on my part there's nothing in it, but there's other people in England that are looking, including maybe Adam Foddy, Devil Bud, Paul, Paul, um, oh, Rick Chaser, Steve. There are lots of people from England. I don't know how many from Australia, but there might be more than the odd one. I don't wear a belt lately. Uh-oh. Well, actually, I don't need to wear a belt. My tummy is that wide and my trousers are that tight. I don't need one. I wear one though, but well, funny you should ask that. On Tuesday, I'm retiring. So my profession was really I was a printer. That is my profession. But then I, whilst printing, learned warehouse stuff, and pretty much most of my life been a supervisor and working in a warehouse. So whilst I learned how to do printing, um, I do warehouse work, and I work for DHL as I've already said. So driving a rich truck, used to forklift, pallet trucks and those sort of things, do inductions, those sort of things will end on Tuesday. Because enough's enough. Enough is enough is enough. So I think I've already said, Bill, but yeah, DHL is distribution. So that's what I'm in. But I wouldn't say it's a profession. So if you wanted checks printing, or computer stationery, I could do that for you if you had a printing press. I think the machines we worked on, why they needed me to do it, because I moved from down south up north, were Goebbels. Were they Goebbels? Big things they were. Thank you, MJ. Um, I don't know what a bad British accent is, but thank you. Yeah, similar sort of thought. Don't know about find it for him, but I wanted to help. You know, people say, "Well, how are you helping?" Well, I'm trying to help make it happen by not saying anything. But I wanted to listen to what Forrest said and to solve the poem if that's what you were supposed to do. So that's the style, Tigger. Forget your belt. Don't worry about it. Okay, be right back. Tell us about the idiots in Great Britain. Every place has their idiots. So here's one of them. So um, it's hard to tell you about the idiots. I think idiots are idiots wherever you go around the world. They're the same mentality in the sense that they do idiotic things, but we all do idiotic things. I have no particular idiots that I know apart from myself, so I can't really tell you too much about the idiots in Great Britain. I can say that most of them work in politics. That's the best I can do for you. And when you see some of the things that happen, you'll probably understand why I think they're idiots. Even to the point where they threaten to fine me for not voting. It's like, what? You want me to vote for these idiots, and you're going to fine me if I don't vote for these idiots? They're not good enough to vote for, so why would I vote for them? I can't help it they're not very good, and I can't help it that the country's going down the pan because of these people that have been voted into power. Ah, there you go. So anybody who votes is possibly, potentially, an idiot, or I'm the idiot for not voting, whichever way you want to look at that. Congrats, not sure what that's for. Could you make me a few Benjamins? He's on the Treasure Warriors. I don't know why you want more than one Ben. Hi, David. How you doing? Yeah, David. I was just saying about your video. There's no coincidence. There's lots of people in England that are trying to find a treasure. I don't know how many are in Australia trying to find it. But just searches. It's nothing to do with the chase, other than we wanted to be rich as well. Unfortunately, Paul, Brick Chaser, Adam Foddy. Don't know, how they evolved in the chase, but Tarantula, I can't remember. There are others. So yeah, we're just searching. Could you make a few congratulations on your talent? Thank you, Idaho. I can't wait. I've been trying to organise. Well, no, I've been getting Yvonne to try and organise the cakes, and I have to bring in. So donuts and custard, jam, those icing, chocolate and strawberry with the hundreds of thousands, whatever they are on them. Different cakes with obviously different tastes. But trying to wonder, like, when do you buy them? Don't want to buy them too soon because they won't be very nice, but don't want to leave it too late in case you need too many and they're not enough. The wise and good are outnumbered. Thanks, Douglas. The wise and good are outnumbered 1,000 to 1 by the brutal and stupid. He wasn't talking about Greg, was he? Greg has a point of being brutal, but only with the truth. 30 years plus logistics. Yeah, logistics is important for everybody, to be fair. When the COVID hit, it was, people need stuff in the shops, or need to move stuff around. So some people had to go because it was needed. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't blame DHL as such. I just blame the warehouse we're in about how I feel towards um, working there. Oh, that's. I don't know if that. No, I know that's not nice, but I don't know if that's meant as not nice or just meant to be funny. Paul's a good lad. Um, he like how many years? How many years of what? At DHL, 19. This would have been 19 in November. I was only doing it as a stop off, really, to be fair. I worked for Johnson Matthey in colours. Very good at that, to be fair. We were team. Right, first time and all that. Really good stuff. Was made at that place. But the fear of redundancy was coming up on people, so I thought, well, I'll get out before I get made redundant because I haven't been there long. And, just get a job to tide me over and then see what else comes along. And that had only just opened. Sainsbury's distribution, so DHL. It's Sainsbury's warehouse, but DHL, operate inside it. So I went there, and the money was decent, and it was run really well. It was Power Europe and XL then. Didn't change to DHL, and yeah, they lost their way. I don't want to go into it on here, but some crazy decisions. We were the best of the best, one of the seven best in the world. Our warehouse, lighthouse warehouse. People would come and walk around, see how things were done. We'd be voted best warehouse. Not now. So 19 years, yeah, saddens me really when I think we were like, I don't know how it works in America, but we were like the Premier League here in football, the top league. And now we're relegated outside and we're not even in the league. Bill, I hope you're being funny about these people and not being, naughty about them. I like Greg, to be fair. I didn't at first. I really didn't. And, the swearing and everything that was on there. I'd watch, like, my program. I would expect, children to be able to listen to it, but I would never watch Greg's in case, they heard it. But, there weren't nice stuff said and it wasn't good language. But, when you listen to him, he's a great person, really. Good heart and that. He's passionate about some things. Maybe um, lets that get away from him sometimes and does the wrong thing because of it. But there's few sides to Greg, so not too upset with Greg now, nor Barbara. When I was first in the chase, those two people were like, "You can't do that." If you looked at the poem, you'd know. Stop. That's changed now. No, I wouldn't have got a gold watch anyway. And that's what I'm saying about how things have changed. There's people been there 20 years, no gold watch, never even got management, never came down to see him off or anything. It's heartbreaking, to be fair. Um, it's just changed so much. It's crazy, crazy. And I don't think that's DHL. I just think it's our warehouse. I hope it is. I wouldn't like to think that DHL operated like that. But people who've been given, done 20 years service at a place, you'd think the management, senior management would come down and at least shake their hand, wish them all the best. It didn't happen. I don't expect too much for doing 19 years. I hope that some of my colleagues and my friends actually take time to say goodbye to me. Will you have a good retirement? I will have a good retirement. Yes. Part of retiring now, apart from all the other things, is too many people retire and they're not here long. So I don't want to work another 7 years and then retire and then not be here long. So I've gained 7 years. So that's a good thing if I last 7 years. So that's a good thing already. And then there are some things that I want to do, and there are some things that I don't want to do. So like Forrest, I might be able to stay in bed for an hour on those days. An EU art rep. That's slightly different because I used to make like checks and stuff like that. They weren't pictures. So computer stationery, the ones with the lines across, or not lines across if you wanted it plain, and checkbooks and things like that. So it wasn't real art as such. Not that type of printing. Hi Joe John. I always think you're Jack Jack with a name like Joe John. How does it feel to be the only one who figured out the phone? How do you know I did that? But thanks for your vote of confidence, Joe John. There are a lot of people that disagree with you. It's, in my opinion, I think that I have literally word for word, but there's some important words in there that make it simple, and there are some words in there that are difficult but not impossible. But thanks for that. Obviously David B as well. In my opinion, I do think that I have done that, but I'm hoping Forrest helps me. Mary retiring to the front. Well, I was talking to David B, and about I'm not a cold person. No, I don't like the cold. So I'd probably do 6 months here and then 6 months, somewhere in the warmer climate. And I was thinking about Australia, but he was pointing me in the right direction because over there they have, nasty animals of certain types, a bit like America, that if you don't know what you're doing, you could end up dead. I didn't fancy that much, but he said New Zealand was good. There aren't bad things there, so maybe New Zealand. But he's pointing me to some good places in Australia that are, safe for a greenhorn like me, a flatlander, you'd probably say. 700 a month. Is that now? I don't know if $700 a month is good there, but if I was 700 a month here, I wouldn't be able to live on $700 a month. Oh, there he is. And what Forrest said is not open to guessing answers. It is true. What? Yeah, absolutely, Davey. And keeping secrets part of the game. Absolutely, Dave. It will happen the way it is meant to. Absolutely not before. Hello, Davey. I agree with everything you just said there, Davey. And Davey, by the way, I'm live. Good morning to you. Yeah, I found. Well, I found games. I found chess. I found cards, Scrabble, Tig, Tag, whatever you call it, Chasey, whatever you want to call it. I found too much in that poem, and that could be my imagination, but it's all there. Like I say, there's not more than one way to look at that poem, and it wasn't. I didn't only look at it in one way. Joe Jones just said, just looking at the words differently. So, in my imagination, it didn't say what you were reading. There's 5 sentences there. Oh, and the anagrams. Don't forget the anagrams. That was crazy, and that was difficult. And like I say, Forrest said anagrams are not a waste of time or whatever, or stupid or not something anyway. So, and he did say a butterfly becomes a flutterby. So, that was another way of looking at the poem. People think that I only look at it in one way, but I've told you about lots of different ways. But that's the way that gives you more information. But you can, play chess. You can play Tig. You can change the words in your imagination, of course. You can do lots of things with that poem. People have made lots of different solves with that poem, just with the poem. I scribbled out the gaps, and it said, what did it say? Uh-oh, something to toe root or something. Can't remember what it said now. Long time ago. So in the gaps with the words, I filled it in, and it wrote in it. I did all sorts of things. Money, money. 6:13 a.m. Laying in bed, listening to Mama. Good lad. 4:15. Wow, that's only 6 hours behind. Hmm. No, hang on. No, it's 7 hours behind. 7 hours behind. Yeah, I think that was Bacon, wasn't it, Bill? That was crazy stuff. And that is everywhere, and that's all about the what Indy was saying about the Masons and those people that have the intelligence, which has come from the Egyptians with the royal numbers and all the things that they know, and they were, killed because they couldn't let everybody know what they know, and that was held secret from the people, and only the privileged few knew. So Shakespeare might have been one of those privileged few with the ability to do that encoding. So who's the quarterback then for Michigan? Zozo. A couple of friends at work are American football fans. I don't want to mention the name of the team, but Kroenke owns a team. He also owns my English football team. And there was a time when I hated him because we were doing really well, and the money that we earned as the team, he spent on his American football team, not the English football team that made the money. So he didn't go down well in my eyes, Mr. Stan Kroenke, who's in the poem with the lady from Walmart, Alison. I can't remember. Is it Alison? Anyway, these rich people in the poem. But now he's spending the money. Now that his team's okay in America, he's decided to spend the money that we earn on the football team that owns it, as opposed to the money that we earn on the American football team. Street said that Colorado was kicking butt. Oh, are they playing each other? Lady Godiva was 26. What the? Oh, Bill, why did you say something like that? I've got a picture of a nice young lady, long hair, naked. You tell me she was 60. Not that that makes her not nice, but that's not the image that I had. Oh, has anyone else noticed the people in the chase who rolled off and yeah, that happens all the time. There is no there is no quote. Well, you know, Greg and Barbara aren't friends. Street and Barbara aren't friends. Street, is trying to get rid of all those people that may be friends. Josh, Barbara, you know. Oh, that reminded me of something that's going on in my head now. Hey Robert, how you going? Oh, everybody's trying to make me feel hungry and it's 20 past 11. at night. That's not time to feel hungry. Barbecue. Hope you're having a good and hope the sun's shining, birds singing. No noddy or big ears there, I hope. Has anyone else noticed? That reminded me of something. I'm trying to think what it was. I can't think what it is. I went, Godiva last name. Did he find out where he parked the ark? Should have had one of them tickets, shouldn't he? Should have gone to the machines and just leaving the ark here. I'll be back for it later. To be fair, if you travel the world in all that water, then you lived in an ark because of it, then that ark landed on the ground, you would think they would make a home out of that, wouldn't you? Instead of making a home, clean it all out and then they've already got a house, haven't they? Maybe not. Bill, stop being related to everybody. Can you get me Helen's autograph? Face that launched a thousand ships. Does he say Heracles or Hercules? I always wondered that. Some people say Heracles. He says Hercules. No. And people say Hercules. Not sure who that is. Excuse me. Heracles and Hercules are two different people. No, 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 no. Please don't say that. I'm just getting over Godiva. Davey, Robbie G's having a barbecue. You got any shrimp? History. No, I can't figure that out. There's a calculator for that. Hey, Ben. Or Ashley. Or both. How you doing? That's what I was going to say. And then you pop on. I was going to say, you didn't do a show. So I was expecting a Tuesday show with Stoof.com. So me and David had to look ourselves. And looking at all the different things that are on there, including that face that's above the canopy of stars. I thought it was Bill. Like a face off of Bill. Not Bill Gorman. Heracles, Greek philosopher. No, Hercules, Greek. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on about some people call Hercules Heracles. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I didn't put those two together. Thanks, Ezra. Hi, Nikki. How you doing? The trouble is that people aren't who you think they are. Yeah, but at least you get two of them, Davey. Oh, no. Excuse me. Why did you have to bring that up, Jojo? Medusa's in the picture, isn't she? In the Stoof.com picture? One of those round things in the fireplace, if it is a fireplace. A few things there. Medusa's there. Cleopatra's there. Minerva's there. There's quite a few people in that poem. In fact, there's too many. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know. Don't know how Forrest did it. No idea how he did it. So, your understanding of Medusa in the poem, then, Joe John? That would be interesting for you to say. Yeah, Josh doesn't seem to have much faith or admiration in many of the people in Joe's. That, you know, as I said earlier, there is nobody in the chase that can say that somebody is wrong, as much as they believe that they are correct, because they don't know the answers. So I know mine and Davy's answers, and we believe that they are correct. But until such time as something ends the chase, I am prepared to listen to everybody's soul, because Forrest said that they were all offered as good solutions. So therefore, they must all be good solutions. All of them. Every one of them. Doesn't matter who you are, they're all good solutions. Forrest said so. Bible verses, head pressures, all of those statements, ciphers, all good solutions. And that must mean, in my opinion, the cipher is no better than a Bible verse, or no better than head pressures, or no better than whatever those things that Forrest said, because they were all offered as good solutions. So that means if one is correct, then all of them are correct. But he didn't say they were correct, they were just good solutions. So you would have to say that every single one of those statements, topics that Forrest mentioned, is no better or worse than another one that he mentioned in that sentence. So therefore, in my opinion, it can't be a correct solve, because it's been put in with all of those other topics, which are good solutions as well. So if one is correct, then all of them must be correct. And they can't all be correct, so then they must all be a good solution, not incorrect. Just an answer that Forrest was expecting, but maybe not a correct solution. And that's how I try to look at what Forrest is saying. Forrest would give that information, and for me, he was saying, this is not right, this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. No, he was saying, this is not correct, this is not correct, this is not correct. It's right, you found a chest. Great. But it's not what you're supposed to be looking for. And he, as much as said so, you're not going to find it where you're looking. What? You're not going to find it where you're looking. No one is going to stumble on it. So anybody who had to solve for a chest had to solve for something that could be stumbled upon. Even Ben's flies could be stumbled upon. At some point, somebody could stumble on those flies. Even if they're not looking for them, they could potentially, possibly, just stumble on them without looking at the poem. Because it's somewhere where somebody's going to walk. At some point in time, they may accidentally find those flies. unless it's in a place where nobody goes. So nobody goes in that place ever, ever. Nobody goes in that place ever. That will be where it's hidden. Otherwise, it's going to be stumbled upon. And I said earlier, stuff's being found now. People have stumbled upon stuff now that's under a river, under a sea, some strange, out of the way place, and they're finding stuff. Hey, John, how you doing? Hang on. Bill, have you just changed name again to Treasure Trolls? Hey, Fendi, how's it going? Just noticed you're in. How long ago did you get in? How long ago did John get in? John's solve is kind of cool. Has it been in the fridge? Go back to see what I missed. Ashley says hi, and I say hello. Hello, hello. Fanny Jones, there you are. Hello, y'all. Idaho said, Charlotte Old answered Ryan Better's message. Jack Stoof is the finder. Charlotte Old answered Ryan Bevetter's message. I think you missed out a question there. The word. Charlotte Old answered Ryan Bevetter's message. Oh, no, I think you're saying that his answer was Jack Stoof is the finder. Charlotte answered Ryan Bevetter's message. And the answer is Jack Stoof is the finder. My soul is kind of cool. John, dude. Hey, Chucky. It's the doll. Oh no. I'm trying to read all these things I missed. This is a great angle. How do we, as a community, debunk the wrong in-laws? It isn't about debunking them, is it? It's the something has a chase, and Forrest said the chase is over. Why are people still here, etc., etc., etc. So something happened that Forrest, in my opinion, didn't want people still looking for treasure and somebody dying because of that. So now something ends the chase. That's what we're waiting for. A few weeks ago. I'm back. Hi, Andrew. I have been here the whole time. Patient. MJ, is that the wrong patient? So I still believe Forrest is running things. People talk about Charlo. There is a voice to the chase, but that doesn't mean to say that Forrest isn't running it. Have we figured out Soviet Mario? Have we, me and thee, or we as a community, or me? I think we figured out a solve, and I think if you give me a sec, I can give you the answer, and that would be all it would take. There is a here in He's been here, there, and everywhere. There's a here and everywhere, and there's a here and there. So you've been everywhere if you've been here. Maybe. Or you've been here if you've been everywhere. Nicky, I said hello ages ago. Hi, how are you doing? Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a man. Is that And Lennox, we had some heavy rain today, so I'm just going to tell Fendi off. Fendi, that video, you sent that rain over here, that hail. So we had something that I never heard ever in my whole, 60 years of being alive. It just thundered forever. There was no rain, probably half an hour. Continuous thunder. Just get thunder, 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 thunder. And then it hammered down, and then it went, and then it was all quiet. But it was just rolling thunder, relentlessly, over and over again. No lightning, no nothing, just thunder. Weird. Jigger, that's Yeah, we were told we were going to have like a heat wave. It's going to be really hot. It's just humid, horrible stuff. Not the cold, crisp, sunny days that I was expecting. How can you miss someone you have not met? I don't know, depends if you're shooting at them or not. What was that for, Tigger? Boogie Woogie Woo. Ah, Woo's an interesting name. I wonder where I've seen that. Woo. And I don't mean Kane. I miss Elvis. Who doesn't miss Elvis? But are we talking like a croc alligator type Elvis or the real Elvis? Yeah, I miss Forrest. I don't know if John misses Forrest or Elvis. I'm not sure. I have met everyone. There's a lot of Me Too's. OMG. Tiny, tiny one. Yeah, you're one of the lucky ones, Bill. Yeah, I really wanted to meet Forrest. I wanted to say, look, why don't you answer my email? No, I can't remember if the first one I sent was the one about Casper and the shape of the mountain. I can't remember what the first email was. And then, I don't know, when I was in the chase for a bit, people started talking about the long ride home because I didn't have the book. And him going to Casper, and I thought, oh no. I've sent Forrest an email saying I don't understand. No, I can't remember how it went, but it was like, I don't know if there's any reason why you would go to Casper, why it would be there, only that the fact that the mountain is in the shape of the insignia. Is it insignia? Like the winged thing for the RAF. And then I find out that they went to Casper all the time. I didn't realise, or thought they went to Wyoming. I didn't realise they went Yellowstone. I didn't realise they went to Casper. And I'm saying there's a possible solve at Casper. And the only thing I can think of is that when you're flying over there, the mountain looks like that. So I felt really stupid. I don't know much about the chase, and I'm writing Forrest this information. Gene Kelly, I used to watch him when I was growing up. I love dancing. Still dancing now, to be fair. He was a better hero for me than Fred Astaire. Just couldn't get used to Fred Astaire. Great dancer, but no, don't know. Don't tell me you're related to Fred Astaire as well, Bill. Davey. How many hours ahead? 12. Oh, 12 hours ahead of the US. See, people keep asking me that. No, I didn't meet Forrest. I talked to Forrest in the poem and may have conversed with Forrest on the blogs, I don't know, you know, or, you know, emails or whatever, because I don't know who's who. So I talked to a lot of people. Like now, Forrest could be talking in chat, and, I'm not saying that I believe that Forrest is still alive. I'm sorry, if that upsets people, but um, I look in chat and I wonder, and even when I was in the chase, so how do these people know these things? Who are these people? And even now, I still think the same thing. I used to watch that. Dennis Weaver of the Cloud, wasn't he? Cool. Can't be in my house. You tell them. So does that mean you're going to kill them, or you're going to ask them to leave politely? Do you know what the bird is thinking? Yeah, crazy driver. Ah, there's a moose loose about the hoose. Not the rain again. We'll talk about the praying mantis. Oh, here comes the rain. Take his belly. The praying mantis, his belly laughing. Wow, that's a sight. I'd like to see that. A belly laughing praying mantis. Definitely. Uh-oh. Idaho's retracted. Let me go back and see what it said. I don't know how to do that. Uh-oh. The conversation's getting crazy. Who's Dwight Yoakam? Show my ignorance now. 24 people? What's going on? Have you lot got nothing better to do? Listen to a pommy. What do you call us over there? You call us pommies? Or is that Australia? OMG. Don't even go there. You leave that praying mantis alone. I think he gave Bill his guitar. He was quality, he was, Santana. Yeah, MJ, I was thinking that. I have no idea he's got. Go there. That sounds like one of those conversations of the hairdresser. Oh, God, don't even go there. Come on, Idaho, what was the message? Gotta be good. That's a song, isn't it? Gotta be good. So, it's nearly an hour later and you're telling me that McCarthy's the quarterback. That was a question I asked you ages ago. See, I had some foresight there. I knew that your quarterback was going to be important tonight. And I asked for his name and you only just told me. McCarthy. Ah, he's done all right in the park, didn't he? I know that was MacArthur Park. If you don't have the first two clues, I'm not sure what that word is. Mice, well, go home. And Thursday clues, stay home, play canasta. If you don't have the first two clues, you're no better off than the girl from India. She invited me to Hong Kong. Oh dear. Do you feel the wind blowing through your hair, Bill? Here you go. What's that? Zozo, what are you like? Yeah, caught up now, thanks. Uh-oh, another attractive message. Oh, I can imagine that, Bill. 8 hours being. Yeah, it wasn't so much chase. Thrill of the ride. That was Bill on the highway when he got dropped off. Now it's getting strange. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. If there was one thing that you wanted to know in the chase, what would it be? One thing. Only one. Oh, did you go in as night rider, Bill? And then he could have called in Kit Carson the car. Thank you, MJ. What's in the olive jar? Hmm. Oh, well, we think we know what's in the olive jar. Can't investigate there. Tiger. Take a quick drink of something. Only one person answered. Wow. I want it open. And I want it open now. I think, hasn't John Collins Black got it? Even if it was opened, wasn't if there was one thing in the chase you could want to know, what would it be? Pirate. Where is pirate? Quest. Oh, I've answered that. Oh, that's good. Homer Brown. Well, if you know the Homer Brown, why are you worried about the plays? That would be good. I talked about Venus and Mercury. Venus could be. What was the question? Drooling. Yeah, that's a good one, Money. How he knows people that don't know him. It's a bit like Nostradamus, knowing stuff. Not. That's a good one. Oh, I froze. It's not cold here, honest. What's happening? Apparently, there are some. Yeah, that's another thing that these solvers don't seem to take into consideration. Why are they there? Oh, you're £20 lighter. Didn't know it. Why are they there? Why did Forrest say, I put them in there to show what kind of fool, crazy fool, eccentric, but whoever, whatever he said, did this. But we know what fool it is, so therefore, did what? What is the hair for? We know it's to prove who was crazy enough to do this. What was it that was done by the crazy person? Wasn't hiding a chest in the Rocky Mountains. Can't be. We knew who did it. 3 books, hundreds of interviews, scrapbooks. We knew who did it. Forrest Fenn. So what was he talking about when he said that? And why is it important? It's not just a thing that was done. It's important that they're in there to show this. I hope they never find out, says Lorraine Mills. What? Hang on a minute, Bob. Who is the real Forrest Fenn? I hope they never find out. But I've put the hairs and the toenail clippings to prove who it was. What? What? So maybe never is not quite right. Maybe I hope they don't find out until it's all over. Or maybe it is, I'm going to take it with me and I hope they never find out. Too many. I'll talk quieter then. kind of puppies are so adorable. They're all adorable. Yeah, my puppy is the only adorable puppy. Uh-oh, streets ablaze. Street, bills ablaze. Yeah, that was a crazy thing about the Aquarius sign not being a water sign. The last clue. The last clue is most important because that's when you have the chest. You're a blaze aura. Jack is in his corner looking for. I thought it was in the counting house, counting all his money. Yes, it's not a water sign, so Puerto Rico might have even been a hint. The fact that Jack went to Puerto Rico. Hmm. Hmm. Why Puerto Rico? If it's not aliens, it probably is aliens. I'm trying to think about that. And that was the error, not mistake. Yeah, them words are strange. They all mean the same thing, but they're different. Forrest said, I'll take you literal. Kefro says, get the hell out of there. Forrest said, did I say that? I said, yeah. And that's another thing that people have these souls. I'm a solver, I'm a solver. Well, what does it mean when you get the hell out of there? How does that fit into your soul? No. And maybe your soul wasn't correct. Forrest said it was literal. You know, get the hell out of there. Why do you have to get the hell out of there when you get your soul? When you get to the end of your soul? But I'm about to cross over into a new day and catch Davey up. Right behind you, Davey. I'm going to be in the future, 9th of September. Oh, that's a good time. Does that mean probate is finished? And has probate actually anything to do with what's happening? Because if it's not part of the estate, Douglas Preston said Forrest Fenn's poem is very clever. You aren't kidding. Well, he did say it was too easy at first. Forrest said, don't worry, they aren't going to solve it, which is in the poem. I don't know what all them mean, Bill. Definitely got triple blazes in there. Douglas is understating that, to be fair. And that's something else that I was thinking. Oh, that was the question I asked, wasn't it? When would be the 15 years that Forrest is going to do the chase for actually up? Forrest doesn't do anything for more than 15 years. So when would that officially end? When did Forrest start this? It took 15 years to write the poem. I don't know how he knew it was going to take 15 years. He asked too many questions. No. Well, I don't know how that works. Well, I suppose it depends if you get the answer. But if you asked 100 questions and got 99 answers, then you would know 99 things. Well, Preston didn't find it. Well, they were a better family. So with that would depend on whether Forrest was saying no one should know until it's finished, or no one should know ever. Because it's not quite clarified that Forrest is saying after it's finished, everyone will know, or don't tell anyone ever, don't ever tell anybody. So my father would know, not my father. Forrest said his father would know. Yeah, I already know Candy's onto something. I haven't seen the show, no, but I said at the beginning of this, I have great respect for Indy and knowledge, and some. And this is no, I don't mean any offence by it, but she lets herself down when she says, oh, my head hurts, I can't bother to think about it, or can't bothered, and that's maybe the mettle and resolve that's needed to just go that bit further with the information that she's got. So I don't question anything that Indy's brought up. The only thing is she's looking at it from a different. She's looking at it from the point of view as to why it was done the way that it was done. What was in Forrest's mind in regard to the chest and everything else. What could all that relate to, as opposed to the where, if that makes sense. So she's more, he chose this item because of this, because it relates to this, and this relates to this. This person relates to this. So she's finding the answers before the chase starts, if that makes sense. If those are the right answers. Straw man. What is a straw man? Oh, scarecrow. Just a sin away the candles, heaven just a sin. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? But the Seekers or the New Seekers? All on that day. Vertigo sold more. Created treasure hunts. Proven. Sold the TTC. TTOTC phone was normal. Vertigo did. Hmm. You'll have the most any differences. Wow, he's got some good quotes, hasn't he? What we have here. Oh, those words. They always make me think of Cool Hand Luke. Now, boy, what we have here is a failure to communicate. I'm still shaking it, boss. I'm still shaking it. I want a puppy and a horse in the treasure chest. You're never going to fit a horse in the treasure chest. Idaho Buffalo wants a puppy and a horse in the treasure chest too. I think I'll pass on that. Tigger. Hey, Godolphin, how are you? Oh, you came as Godolphin. Stripped away all of those key nuts. Let's get read it to operate outside the box. I'm not sure if Forrest is telling him all these or whether he comes up with them himself. Yes, I did, MJ. I live in England and I went boots on the ground in Wyoming. And realised, whoops, nope, this is not that sort of hunt. Go back home and do your homework. Listen to what the man said. And that's what I did. Well, try to. Um, I suppose in a way I was fortunate because I came to the chase when everybody had pretty much exhausted all avenues. And I thought, well, they haven't found it. All these people, thousands of people, they haven't found it. So it must be something different than what they're doing. It has to be. And when I was in Wyoming at Casper Mountain, I wasn't even at Casper Mountain, it was before Casper Mountain. I was thinking, this is crazy. I could be 12 feet away from it and not see that chest. And somebody could walk, next day 12 foot in the opposite direction and bump into it. And Forrest said, no one's going to stumble on that chest. That's like, well, this ain't it then. This is not how you find it. Whatever the answer is, this is not it. Not it. No chance. Wherever that chest was put, someone's going to stumble on it. So it has to be somewhere that people aren't going to go. And, the other thoughts like, what you can do, Mary, put a treasure chest in your pocket and just go to the airport, go through customs, try and go home. All those thoughts, like, you idiot. No, it's not going to happen. So, what is Forrest really saying? What is this poem about? Why did it take 15 years? Why am I so stupid that I thought, like everybody else, you just read it, you find a warm waters halt, and you go to a place. So there was something more, and then, I tried to put everything that Forrest said into some sort of order. And I explained earlier, the white paper, and I went into that, into blocks, small enough for the fine print, so all the information was in one place. It was easy to file, easy to get to. And then I had the difficult but not impossible, and I had the when people find out, they'll say, "Why didn't I think of that?" Those two completely different things. And then there was a treasure and a secret treasure, and lots of contradicting statements. So it was like, oh, this doesn't end the way that you think that it ends. So what is simple? You can't make those statements. It's simple and straightforward, etc., etc., and it's difficult but not impossible. What? You just said it was simple. Now you're saying it's difficult but not impossible. So which bit's talking about which? So start to separate those possibilities. Then in the poem it says, take the chest and go in peace. And then it says, so why is it that I must go? Well, didn't you already go? You went alone in there. So why are you going again after the chest has been found? Now you're going. Are you going in there? So this is when you go in there. This is when it starts. So when it finishes, this is when it starts. And then once you've already taken the chest, you're going to give somebody title to the gold. But somebody already found the chest. Then you're going to give somebody title to the gold. And those sort of questions, like, no, I don't get this. So I tried to listen to what Forrest said, put all those statements together, and that's why I said when Troy was talking about try the wheel, it actually says try the law wheel. And that's pretty much like, the circle, and then in quarters, talked about quarters before, and then you put the states in there, and then you put the information that Forrest gave about how to solve the poem, or get the answers, or find the chest, or however you want to look at it. And as long as those things match, to put it into that state. And then if all that information went into that state, then you could go, right, I'm in, say, Wyoming. Then you do it again. Do the circle, the quarters, and then you put places in Wyoming that match above 5,000 feet, below 10,200 feet. If I was where the chest was, I would see animals, blah, 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 blah. Put all that in there, and then see if you can find a spot like that. That's just one way of doing it. I did it like that, but it didn't give me the right answer that I wanted. So, no, not that I wanted, that Forrest said would be the correct answer. Because all the answers were like, it was either too low, too high, there weren't trees, animals, etc. Those sort of things. So it didn't make sense. Not in an isolated spot, all those things. Those people are about as aware of their surroundings. Bill, have you turned into Douglas? Garden messes with my clues, I agree with you. Uh-oh, I missed that. Oh, you want them said. Well, if there's two things, that means the other 18 clues. Well, it's important to know what is worth knowing and what isn't. And it's important to know what is important and what isn't. What is important? The monkey. You got a puppy. What if Jack Steve's search was actually found by an independent filmmaker? What if it was? If the solver found cameras, he would be. And then put him on the trail, like Justin did. Well, Dal is a filmmaker, isn't he? Doesn't he do the Lumini? Dead men tell no tales. Dead corpses often speak what? Ooh, I like that one. I would move them 500 miles. It's almost a Proclaimer song. And I would walk 500 miles. And I walk 500. Tiger, Tigger, Reese. Not sure what that is about. Are you already thinking of reading? Well, mirrors are collectors. Forrest did a scrapbook with those mirrors. I made a statement. If you don't see a piece of yourself in the mirror, then maybe you deserve another turn. Hmm. Oops, there goes another rubber tree. What for? You have no reason to be sorry. What was that for? You don't have to be sorry. Well, that would depend on that statement. Finding sounds fun. So for some people, the fact that it was found, the fact that it was retrieved might not be fun. Then some people go up in arms and say, I told you it was fake, it was fake, it was fake. MJ thinks it's good. Tigger's like, yeah, man, let's party. So I don't know. I can see people going, see, he's the retriever. Told you. To some extent. Well, that could be worse. Get off my land. Get off my booty. I will never forget that moment. In all my life, I'll never forget it. Walking on a road, being told it's private property. What? That's crazy. Not just that, me being stupid enough to argue the point in a strange country where people have guns and they tell you to get off. It's a road. I'm walking on the road. I'm not walking on the land. It's all private property. What? Even the road? How are you supposed to get up the mountain then if you can't use the road? I can't believe that. You have to go around the other side. Like, what? I'm already halfway up. I'm already halfway up the mountain. You want me to go the way back down? And then what if I, bump into other people that say, wait, you're on private property? Anyway, I've learnt my lesson. Don't argue with anybody in America that may have a gun. Yeah. Oh, that's a thought. Now, who's Skidoo? Bet he's lurking in the 25 people that are in here. Well, I've been going 2 hours already. 2 hours, 18 minutes. Well, yeah, I think I should go because I'm going to be up in 4 hours and, excuse me, 10 minutes. Yeah, 4 hours and 20 minutes so far. For one of my last 3 days of work ever. Well, I don't know. See how it goes. But retiring Tuesday, and they're going to let me go early, as they normally do. About 11, I think. Normally let people go, probably because spend too much time talking to people and not letting them work. 3 days. Well, two and a bit. Oh no, jazz tomorrow. Oh, that already hurts my head. 2 hours of that. Am I going to buy a place in New Zealand? Unless I meet Forrest. Congrats. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's always a good thing to reach that point where you can say, you've done your bit. No, unless I meet Forrest and he says, Mario, you're the solver. Yeah, here's the gold. No, I was just saying about, Dave was telling me about the dangerous animals that are there. If you're not smart enough, you're going to put your foot in a shoe and something's going to bite you. Don't want to do that. I'm not a fan of islands. Well, there's an island in the chase, and I live on an island. I've got no choice. Yeah, so if the thought is, I don't like the cold, so I don't know if there's a place in the world that's warm all year round, that might be an option. Or I do half. Absolutely, there's an island in the poem. Certainly is. There's lots of things there you wouldn't believe. There's even a bell on a bike in the poem. Is it a bell on a bike? A lever for something, a door somewhere, to get somewhere. There's a fountain in the poem. Does Davy live on an island? Yes, he does. In Australia. Weird, isn't it? Us island people. There are two islands. In the poem or in the chase. Darling on an island. Was that a hint? Well, he did say, he did say Gilligan's Island then. He did say he didn't know if he found the treasure or not. Captain Kidd, whatever, I don't know where that went now. There is a well. Well, I did a video. Well, Rosetta, are you better? Are you well? England is an island. And Ireland is an island. Ah, I see where you were going with that. Yes, unfortunately, England is an island, and we moan that sometimes when the weather's really hot, we have droughts. And we're surrounded by water, so we can't use our hoses. But we're surrounded by water. Surely, the seawater, if we can, process sewage, surely we can process seawater to the point that it could be used. Avalon. Is that where King Arthur was? No man is an island. I don't understand that saying. No man is an island. No man is an island. No man is an island. The Isle of Man. Oops. No man is an island, but the Isle of Man is. Yeah. What is this about, King Arthur? Was it about, you know, I'm not saying it, that's what it is, but what if only the right person was going to ever do this? Yes. Why can't we, process the water that we're surrounded by and never have hosepipe bans? I mean, I think stupid things like that. I think there's possibly a way of creating flood defences by allowing water to travel through pipes back to either a safe, make your own reservoir piece of land where it can flood it in peace or to the sea. So anywhere that always floods, you run a pipeline through, and the excess water gets funneled into that and goes to a different place. And these fires that people talk of, why don't they dig up the land before the fires? They know there's going to come that fire anyway. So why don't you bulldoze everything, get rid of anything that's going to catch fire, remove that, job done. Now I know it's a difficult process, and that's silly, but these fires travel for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles over days. I'm pretty sure there'll be a point where you will be able to get rid of whatever it is that's going to burn. Get rid of it. So there is nothing to burn, and then it will just peter out, or be more manageable, which is probably a more real answer. And it's like, well, now we'll just let it burn, and we'll just let it flood over and over, year after year, or so many years after so many years. I don't get it. Risked people's lives and property for, I don't know. That's me. Should have come over here, Davey, and sorted that out. Oh, was that where warm water salt? Try the front. Oh, is that Monaco stuff? There's a go. Ooh, I think I've read something about that. I think there's gold in some of the computers as well. You can extract that from the computers by doing some sort of method. Is that the Isle of Man? TT. Glad the T is not. Oops. You cannot remove forests. But that's what happens. The forest is removed by the fire. So you're just doing what's going to happen anyway. The forest doesn't exist anymore because of the fire. So you've just done what the fire is going to do. I understand what you're saying, it's protected or whatever, but Mario, you're frozen. It's not that cold. It's not that cold at all. Do I look cold? No, I understand. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably my computer. Or maybe, Tinternet. There are no trees in the forest. Yeah, I put that on my, whatever it's called, screenshot. Can't see forest for the trees. It's most, and, yeah, it's pretty windy on the, pretty windy out there. It also has oil fields out there, I think. You see any of them? Well, Treasure Island. One would think that's, somebody hiding their treasure. Treasure Island is the first thing that comes to mind, isn't it? Well, I think it's 0030. So that gives me 4 hours kip before work. I think Mary is having technical problems. I have living problems, let alone technical problems. Yeah, I keep saying, Godelkin, if you're still here, you gave Susie a laptop. I could do one. Davey, we try and Zoom, and Davey say, "Are you there?" And then by the time my computer decides that it wants to do any work, it's like 15 minutes later before I actually get to ring him. I think he's probably asleep by the time I ring. No, I do have issues with my computer, but thank you, Money. That was going to go. I mean, basically, I was going to do a show for Forrest, remembering Forrest and his passing, and this is not to offend anybody or upset anyone, but I don't believe that Forrest has passed, and I don't want to do a show about that, and I'll be gutted if I'm wrong, but so I don't really want to talk about that as such, but I do want to remember that Forrest, has given us all this opportunity and has spent a lot of his time, if you consider from 1988, that's when he got the spot or, got cancer or whatever. Whenever he thought of this, whenever he started the poem, however this was, it was a long time, 15 years to write the poem. Whatever those time frames are, a lot of Forrest's time was spent in the thrill of the chase. And then even when the chase had started, his time was spent masterminding the can I make it happen, and trying to give people answers while not saying anything. So, people say, oh, people look up to Forrest and think the sun shines out of his backside, this, that, and the other. And it's just showing respect for amazing ability. For me, genius. And he talked about the Rosetta Stone, but I think this poem is way more than that. Way more than that. Absolutely more than that. But I think behind it, it's just, that's too much. It's crazy too much. It has to be believable because it's, in my opinion, David's opinion, it's true. So it has to be believable. It's true. And then, when people find out, just crazy. Anyway, Skippy the Skipper. Hey there, David. Tigger, can you hear Mario? I'm going to bed now. Thanks. I will have a great day at work if I can, apart from the jazz. Hi, Lily. I'm just leaving. Sorry. I mentioned you earlier about the good videos that you do and the positivity that you give to people rather than the negativity that some people have. This is personal. Thank you, Tigger. Dear Joey, time we'll get some well-deserved sleep. Yeah, I hope so. I can hear him very clearly. Well, I can't. I have an external speaker at home. Mario, you need to reboot your computer. Well, it's a bit late now. It has already consumed one person. Yes, I think that's Forrest. Tigger, that's enough. I also have a radio on, though. Just got 44,326 miles a month. Happy Sat or Sunday. Thank you. It's Sunday, 35 minutes into Sunday. I hope you have a happy Saturday. Oh, cool. I hope it works for you as well. Is it over? Is the chase over or is the stream over? The stream's over. The chase is over when something ends it. I honestly believe it's not far away. It is Sunday then. And yours will be Sunday soon. Oh, unfortunately, I don't sleep much. I've frozen. Yeah, it's because you have funny hours over there. Why can't we all have the same hours as us? Why can't it be dark where you are? They still think I have too much energy when I go to work, and they don't like my singing. Apparently, 6 o'clock in the morning singing is too early for them. Someone else is the same way. So, thank you, firstly, Forrest, and then thank you for being you people. I know I don't know who you are, but I don't seem to have the issues that some people have with their chat. You know, I'm lucky in that sense, and I appreciate words that people have said and the way they behave. I think I've got a great moderator who's disappeared, but I'm sure you're all afraid of the wrench that is wielded by Pirate, and that's why you behave. I'm not going to say any different while he's here. No, you need to go. It is a number 2 month process. I hope it works. It can't be a good thing to have tinnitus or tinnitus. Depends how you think of it. So thank you for being here. The 26 people that are here, and the 2 people that liked it, especially the 2 people that liked it. The thing is, most of it has been about the people in chat. They're the people that do the talking. Did you see the flood on the news in Greece? No. I saw Fenn's video where it was hailing. 1 minute he was looking at cats sleeping, and then he said, "There's the hail," and the connection to that is over my head. So take care, everyone. Much love and respect. Davey, I'll probably speak to you whenever. Just give us a message, and not now. Give us a message if you want to talk, and then we'll chat. Good night, Lily. Thank you. I think most places are a mess. They're either on fire or flooded. The world is changing right before our eyes. Thank you, Idaho. Thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tigger. Yes, thanks. I'm going to get a few hours. Thank you for that as well. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Tuesday. But getting all the cakes. That's a bit. Not that I should really bother that much, but everybody likes different things. So it's like cupcakes, donuts with the jam or the custard, donuts with the icing on the top, little sprinkly things, different things. Yeah, it's all crazy, crazy, crazy. Times are changing. Thanks, INFJ. Checkers. Good checkers. Well, I'm going to do some of that. Send some hearts out. Oops. Actually, send them all out. I don't know what that one was for. Thanks again. Take care. I'm going to end the stream. As long as cursor moves. I'll froze it again. Thank you. Take care. Ciao for now.